Happy World Refugee Day. My name is Serene Hawasli Kashlan. I'm an asylum attorney at the Georgia Asylum and Immigration Network, also known as GAIN. GAIN is a nonprofit legal organization that provides free immigration legal services to victims of violence and persecution. GAIN is located in downtown Atlanta, although we serve clients from all over Georgia. And GAIN operates on a dual representation model, so we provide both direct representation and training and support to volunteers from within the Atlanta legal community. In order to apply for asylum, you must be physically present in the United States, and you must meet the statutory definition of a refugee as defined by the Immigration and Nationality Act. So a refugee is a person outside of their home country who is unable or unwilling to return to that home country, unable or unwilling to avail themselves of the protection of that country because of persecution or a well-founded fear of future persecution on account of one of the protected grounds. And the protected grounds are race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. It's important to note that refugees are processed abroad and they come to the United States and are granted status upon arrival, whereas an asylum seeker is applying from within the United States and is processed within the United States and only becomes an asylee if their asylum is granted. It's also important to recognize there are two types of asylum. There's affirmative asylum and defensive asylum. So people who are not in court proceedings, they can apply affirmatively with the United States Immigration and Citizenship Services, USCIS. That's why it's called affirmative asylum. People who are people who are in court proceedings can apply for asylum defensively in immigration court. So this is why it's called defensive asylum. And among asylum seekers are detained people who are in detention centers, immigration detention centers, and people that are not detained. Currently, there is a huge backlog of cases before USCIS and immigration court. There are not enough asylum officers conducting asylum interviews, so it's taking several years for cases to be heard. A small percentage of cases are chosen to be heard quickly, to be interviewed quickly. However, it seems that policy is dwindling. And immigration court has also been taking a few years. And the only cases that are heard quickly are for detained individuals, people that are in one of the detention centers in Georgia. We definitely recommend that people should seek legal help for their asylum. Asylum process is complicated, and we recommend that asylum seekers search for legal representation. Represented individuals are 2 to 5 times more likely to receive the relief sought than their unrepresented counterparts. Represented individuals, if you can afford a private immigration attorney, you can find one from the American Immigration Lawyers Association, also called AILA, and you can find that at www.ailalawyer.com, which is AILALAWYER.com. If you cannot afford an attorney, it's important to contact nonprofit organizations such as GAIN to see if they can help or at least make a referral to another organization that can help. So 150 days after successfully filing for asylum, an asylum seeker can file for employment authorization and a Social Security card, which can take about a month to arrive. This enables the asylum seeker to live and work in the United States during the pendency of their case. So being able to work has been a huge turning point and a huge sense of relief for our clients and for many asylum seekers. It allows them to provide for themselves and stay safe while they await often several years for their cases to be heard. So if an affirmative asylum petition is denied, the United States Citizenship and Immigration Office will refer the case to court if the immigrant has no other status to fall back on. It's important to note that if an asylum seeker is denied asylum in court, they can appeal the decision to the Board of Immigration Appeals if they have grounds to do so. And you can even appeal the Board of Immigration Appeals decision to a circuit court of that specific jurisdiction. So in Georgia, it would be the 11th Circuit Court. But it is important to note that winning an asylum case is more difficult in certain courts than others. So Atlanta Immigration Court has the lowest asylum approval rating in the nation, an approval rate of less than 5% of asylum cases. If an asylum seeker is granted asylum, they become an asylee, and they're entitled to the same benefits as a refugee who was processed outside the United States. They are also eligible for resettlement programs and other benefits that are available to refugees. COVID-19 has affected the process. In some ways, it's made it easier. In some ways, cases, hearings and interviews have been postponed. So COVID-19 has caused court hearings to be canceled. Currently, non-detained cases are extended through June 26, 2020. USCIS has also postponed in-person interviews until at least June 3rd. And COVID-19 has allowed for more flexible filing for asylum seekers. For instance, copies of original signatures are being accepted now. Immigration court is allowing email filings. So those have been more beneficial. It's also been it has made it more difficult for asylum seekers to meet with their attorneys. Many attorneys have, been working remotely, such as us, just to stay safe and during this pandemic. And despite COVID-19 and despite working remotely, GAIN has continued to work for and advocate on behalf of our clients. Thank you for listening, and happy World Refugee Day.